Let's get something straight. Blunt people aren't hated because they're rude. They're hated because they're fearless. And fearlessness in a world built on emotional tiptoeing is threatening. Bluntness is social honesty without anesthesia. And most people can't handle the pain of clarity. Blunt people are treated the way people treat storms, admired from a distance, feared up close. Because you can't manipulate a storm, you can't predict it, and you definitely can't control it. Bluntness destroys the illusion of social safety, that fragile little dance where everyone softens the truth to protect each other's insecurities. You don't play that dance, and that makes you magnetic and dangerous. Section 1. The honesty bias. Psychology calls it the honesty bias. People believe they want the truth. They swear they value realness and transparency. But here's the twist. They only want the version of truth that feels flattering, gentle, and controlled. Blunt honesty removes the control. It exposes the unfiltered reality people spend entire identities avoiding. So when a blunt person speaks, people don't hear your words. They hear the shattering of their own self-deception. And self-deception is a fragile religion. That's why they tense up. Not because you're cruel, but because you're accurate. And accuracy hits deeper than kindness ever will. Section 2. Social risk aversion. Most people are socially risk averse. They want safety, approval, predictable interactions. Bluntness violates all three. Because when you say exactly what you mean, you take a social risk on purpose. You risk being misunderstood. You risk disapproval. You risk tension. And in doing that, you signal something rare. Emotional independence. You're not controlled by the fear of reactions. You're not negotiating your personality just to be liked. And that independence, it intimidates the people who rely on external validation to breathe. This is where admiration starts to mix with fear. Why aren't they scared? Why aren't they playing the game? Because you don't need the game. You're not bargaining for permission. Section 3. Cognitive dissonance. Here's the part that really rattles people. Bluntness creates instant cognitive dissonance, the psychological tension between what people believe and what they're confronted with. Someone thinks they're confident. You point out their avoidance, dissonance. Someone believes their decision is logical. You highlight the insecurity driving it, dissonance. Someone claims they want honesty. You give it to them unfiltered, dissonance. And humans hate dissonance so much that they would rather resent you than confront the truth you exposed. That's why blunt people become targets, not because they're wrong, but because they're right too quickly. Section 4. The pratfall effect. Now here's the paradox. The same bluntness that gets you disliked is the exact reason people become obsessed with you. Psychology calls it the pratfall effect. Flawed, unapologetic humans appear more attractive, more relatable, and more magnetic. And bluntness is a social flaw that isn't actually a flaw. It's confidence in its purest form. Your honesty makes you imperfect. Your delivery makes you unforgettable. And the fact that you refuse to sugarcoat makes you trusted, even by the people who claim they can't stand you. People don't crave polite perfection. They crave someone real enough to disrupt their numbness. Section 5. Assertiveness. Signaling blunt people send out a powerful assertiveness signal. I am not afraid of the emotional consequences of the truth. This signal reads as dominance, not aggression, not control, but self-possession. It's the energy of someone who doesn't chase approval, doesn't fear conflict, and doesn't dilute themselves to maintain harmony. That is the essence of intimidating feminine energy. Softness as a choice. Strength as a default. Silence only when it's strategic. People may resent that, but they're drawn to it more fiercely than they admit, because it represents a freedom they don't have. Section 6. Why blunt people become cult favorites. And here's the truth. People whisper but never confess. Blunt people are cult favorites because they are emotionally fearless in a world terrified of discomfort. You say what others suppress. You cut through delusion. You walk through social spaces without begging for softness or permission. And people feel that. Deeply. Your presence hits like a psychological audit. Your honesty cleans the air. Your confidence exposes the room. You are hated for the same reason you're adored. You remind people of the strength they abandoned. So yes, blunt people are polarizing. Not because they're too much, but because everyone else is too fragile. And fragile people don't hate the truth. They hate the person who speaks it with a steady voice. If this hit a nerve, good. Hit subscribe. Growth starts exactly where your comfort ends.